a standard flat collar is quietly making your senior dog's joint pain worse. And if you end up buying the wrong harness to replace it, well, you're going to be paying good money to make that pain worse faster. I've actually scored 23 different harnesses against dogs dealing with arthritis, hip dysplasia, and stiff joints. Out of all of those, only 5 made the cut, so this is the definitive ranking of the 5 best harnesses for senior dogs with joint pain.
Now, before we start the countdown, there's one thing I found that's absolutely going to change how you shop. The winner of this test costs roughly 3 times what the runner-up costs. There's no way around it. And yet, it is still the absolute smartest buy for a dog in pain. I'm going to show you exactly why that is, and I'll also name the cheap option you absolutely must never buy.
Let's quickly look at the rigid pet scorecard grading framework. We score every harness out of 10 on 5 specific pillars. We've got fit and comfort, durability, safety and practical risk, ease of use, and value for money. We use the exact same test and the same scorecard for every single harness. Why? Because when your dog already hurts, a harness that chafes, slips, or makes you yank them around isn't gear. It's a hazard.
Okay, I need to give you 60 seconds of context before we get to the list, because honestly, the physics here matters way more than any brand name. Get this, roughly 2 out of 3 dogs over the age of 7 have visible arthritis. When your dog pulls against a flat collar, every single pound of force lands directly on their neck, and that yank travels straight down the entire arthritic spine. That's exactly why every harness on this list moves the leash connection onto the chest. The whole point is to stop the tug before it ever reaches the joints of your older dog. Starting us off at number 5, we have the Rabbitgoo no-pull harness, which comes in at around $23. Let's start with the good news. It features a front leash clip, which pulls your dog's chest towards you instead of choking their neck. On top of that, the padding is softer than anything else you're going to find at this price point.
Breaking down the scores, fit and comfort sits at a 7 out of 10. It also earns a 7 for durability. The stitching is solid, sure, but the plastic buckles are definitely the weak link. It scores a 7.5 in safety and practical risk, a 6 for ease of use, and an 8 in value for money. That brings the overall score to a 7.0, earning a final grade of B. Now, it's a perfectly fine budget option for a young dog, but the fatal flaw for seniors is hiding right there in the ease of use score. It's a step-in design. Putting it on means forcing it to lift your dog's sore front legs, and for a senior dog with joint pain, that step-in problem alone basically disqualifies it.
Moving on to number 4. This is the Ruffwear Front Range, priced around $49. Now, this is a premium hiking harness, and you can really tell. It has fully padded chest and belly panels, along with this great breathable fabric, but most importantly, that genuine padding protects thinner, senior skin from chafing under the armpits, which is exactly where older dogs tend to have less muscle to buffer the straps.
Looking at the scorecard, it secures an 8 out of 10 for fit and comfort. Durability is an impressive 9. I mean, this thing is built like luggage and will easily outlast your dog's younger years. Safety and practical risk earns an 8, while ease of use gets a 7.5, mostly since it goes over the head to avoid that whole leg lifting issue entirely. Rounding it out with a 7 for value for money, it lands an overall score of 7.6 and a B+ final grade. If your dog is still taking long walks, it's a great buy, but there is a warning here regarding the back handle. It is really just a grab handle, not a true lifting handle. So the moment stiffness slows your dog down, this harness becomes pretty much useless for helping a dog that cannot stand on their own.
All right, number 3, we have the PetSafe Easy Walk, which runs around $28. You might recognize this one. It's the classic anti-pull option. The leash clips at the chest, and the martingale loop, which is a strap that gently tightens without pinching, secures around the chest instead of the neck. Because of this design, your dog physically cannot put weight on their neck against it, which is fantastic for protecting their joints on every single step.
For fit and comfort, it scores a 7 and a 6.5 for durability. However, safety and practical risk jumps way up to a 9. That chest martingale is absolutely the gold standard for protecting the trachea and spine. It takes a 7.5 in ease of use and an 8.5 for value for money. That leaves us with an 8.0 overall score and a B+ final grade. So it solves the pulling problem perfectly, but the hidden flaw here is that it lacks a handle and provides absolutely zero rear support. When your dog actually needs help standing up, well, it really does nothing for them. And this actually brings us to a really crucial shift in our narrative, and the primary reason the top 2 harnesses even exist. You see, the harnesses we've looked at so far focus on stopping the pull, using front clips to protect the neck. But for a dog in real pain, we need to contrast that with the critical need to stop the fall, which absolutely requires rear support to protect their hips. Because every vet out there will tell you the exact same thing. The walk itself is not the hard part for a senior dog. The hard part is the transition, getting up from the floor, climbing the stairs, or getting in and out of the car. Falls during these transitions are exactly what turn manageable arthritis into torn ligaments, fractured hips, and very expensive emergency vet visits.
So, number 2 is built directly for that reality. The PetSafe CareLift support harness, priced around $55. This is our runner-up and, frankly, the best value full-body support harness in the test. It features 2 padded handles, one right at the shoulders and one over the rear. Let's check the scorecard. It pulls an 8.5 for fit and comfort and an 8 for durability. Safety and practical risk is a solid 8.5 because you can actually catch a mid-stair fall with those handles. It matches that 8.5 in ease of use and really shines with a 9 in value for money. The overall score is an 8.7, earning an A grade. Look, for under $60, you're getting a genuine lifting harness, but I do have to mention its one real limitation. It supports the belly, not the hips. If your dog is mostly stable, that's enough, but if their back legs are genuinely failing, it falls just a bit short.
Which finally brings us to the winner. Number 1. The Help 'Em Up Harness by Blue Dog Designs, priced between $80 and $140. And yes, I am directly addressing that high price tag right now. To be honest, I hated the price at first, but then I put it on a dog with severe hip dysplasia, and suddenly I understood exactly why it costs what it costs.
Fit and comfort hits a 9 out of 10. It was designed with veterinary rehab input to sit exactly where the body needs support. It matches that with a 9 for durability. Safety and practical risk earns a massive 9.5 out of 10. With an 8 for ease of use and an 8.5 for value for money, it lands our highest overall score, a 9.3 out of 10, and a final grade of A+. This is literally the only harness that lets you instantly offload a third of your dog's weight from painful joints the second they stumble. Just one prevented fall completely justifies the entire investment.
What really makes it earn that A+ is a patented hip lift. It's this padded sling that sits securely under the rear with its own dedicated handle. That single feature is the difference between a simple harness and a true mobility tool. It really drives home why this gear is absolutely essential for protecting failing back legs and preventing falls before they ever happen.
So here is your definitive, evidence-based final verdict based on your budget and your dog's specific needs. If your dog has failing back legs, buy the number 1 Help 'Em Up harness. It is the only one that offloads weight from arthritic hips in real time. If you're on a budget and your dog is still fairly steady, buy the number 2 PetSafe CareLift. No matter what you do, avoid cheap step-in harnesses entirely. And please, stop using standard collars on your senior dogs today.
Remember, score the gear before you spend. If this explainer helped save your dog's joints, make sure to subscribe now. Next up on Pet Scorecard, we're covering the 5 best orthopedic dog beds, and I'll show you exactly which 2 you must never